everyone! So today is super exciting. Anastasia came out with a new palette called Riviera. So I created this look. Today is going to be kind of a swatches, first impressions, tutorial, and review. So stay tuned if you want to see how I created this look and what I think of the palette. So this is Sales. It's just a pure white, which is pretty cool. That'll be nice for highlighting. It's pretty sheer, but not patchy. And let's see if it's buildable. Yeah, it looks buildable to me. I think you're gonna have to wet the brush if you want something that's like very opaque, but this could also work really well as just a subtle highlight. The next color is Yacht. It goes on very smoothly, it's not patchy, it's pigmented, it's everything you would expect from an Anastasia pigment. One thing I want to mention is I'm cleaning the brush between uses, so this is damp, but this color is really beautiful. It's pigmented. I think I dipped in a little bit too aggressively, but look at how much it's building. Like, you can really blend that out, and that is opaque as can be. That's beautiful. That really, really reminds me of the ocean. That's gorgeous. That is Seychelles. Okay, so now I'm dipping in with Palermo. Sort of like a rose gold, or like a bronzy rose. And just like Seychelles, it builds really nicely. It builds to like a really opaque, sheeny, beautiful rose color. So next is Seaside, which is this metallic, silvery, steel sort of color. So it looks like blue, green, kind of purpley, silver. It honestly looks like a stormy sea. Maybe that's what they were going for. This one, a little bit harder to build, a little bit more sheer, but it could also just be the way that I'm applying these swatches because of the damp brush. Okay, so the next shade is called Inheritance, and it is a gold bar, kind of gold, which I think is hilarious because, you know, people who own boats tend to have a little bit of money to spare, and maybe their kids can benefit from that. So Inheritance, this is very fitting. I love the name. Whoever came up with that, that's clever. This is beautiful. I love this gold. It's a true gold. It's not very greeny. It's not really warm. It's just truly yellow. The last shade on the top row is Mediterranean. I have not personally been to the Mediterranean, so I cannot speak to how accurate this representation is. This is similar to their loose glitter in, I think it's Party. It's got like every color. There's pink, there's yellow, there's purple in here. It's very sheeny, like very iridescent. They all are. These are beautiful, beautiful shades. Like, I'm so excited to use them. But yeah, I don't know if this looks like the Mediterranean, but if it does, I'm booking a flight. So this next shade, it's the first shade on the bottom row, is called Estate. Wow, that is very pigmented matte. It's kind of like a beige, a kind of warm beige. That's nice. I like that a lot. I'm not sure where the name comes from. Maybe just like white people. Next, I'm dipping into Cabana. It's kind of like a mustardy yellow. This brush at this point is very, very damp, so we have to wait for these pigments to dry to truly know what they look like. The next shade is called Coastline. Yeah, it's kind of salmony, goes on very well, very beautiful matte, very pigmented, no issues there, no powderiness as usual. The next shade is the one I'm most excited for, this and one other. This is Bahamas. It's this bright pink. The color is gorgeous and it's going on pretty well. Keep in mind, this brush is dampened, so yes, we're going to have better color payoff, but I guess this just goes to show that if you want to build it to be an absolutely brilliant opaque pink, you can do that. Definitely going to be featuring that color. How can you not? Like, this is the most exciting color in the palette. Okay, so the next one is Monte Carlo. Another sort of salmon-y color, a little bit pinker than Coastline. The Coastline errs on the side of being orange. This is pretty, I like this. This is kind of like, ooh, sorry. This is kind of like a great lip color. So if you're going for a monochrome look and you have a lip color that's similar, I think this would be perfect. This next shade is, in my opinion, the second most exciting shade in this palette because I've wanted a bright purple from Anastasia for so long, and oh my gosh, Norvina did not disappoint. This pigment is so beautiful and it is going on so opaque. I don't have a single purple in my arsenal that goes on this well as a matte. Like, this is completely unique in my collection, and it's also the reason that I'm wearing these tights. Matches perfectly. I'm so excited. I couldn't be happier. This is beautiful. If you're looking for a good purple, a good bright purple that has amazing color payoff, pretty much no flaws, and is matte, buy this palette, it's worth it. All right, the last color is like the obligatory neutral. Here we are with Palm. It's definitely a very pretty brown. After all of the other brightly colored pigments, it's not very exciting, but it's gorgeous, and I'm sure, you know, combined with Coastline or Estate, maybe Inheritance. Actually, you know what? This could kind of go with everything except for maybe Cans. Yeah, beautiful. Not my favorite because it's brown, but beautiful. Okay, so now I'm gonna brainstorm a look and I'll get back to you in like, okay. So that wasn't exactly just 1 second. This is the next day. I had work and I had to go to the lab, and anyways, I was there for a lot longer than I expected and I didn't get to use the palette yesterday, but here I am, and this is the look that I created, so stay tuned if you want to see how I did it. So I'm gonna put pink in my crease. This is not, ooh, there's some fallout, but we knew that was gonna happen. It's Anastasia, it's pigmented. So I might have to use a brush to clean this up and possibly even some concealer, hopefully not. But anyways, I'm going in with this, oh my god, it's so pigmented, you guys. This is so gorgeous. I don't care about this fallout, like I will take it. But my plan is to put blue on my lid and have this be like a purple-y effect on the actual part of my crease. So I'm putting this pink down first, bringing it up onto my brow bone and like into my outer corner. I want this to be surrounding the entire look. I'm even gonna bring it under my eye a little bit. Then I'm gonna go in with Cabana, which is that like mustardy yellow color. Let's see how these mix. So it doesn't have the effect of the yellow in like the Zulu palette that I just reviewed, or the Soul color in the Natasha Denona Sunset palette that I use all the time, but it does make a good transition shade. So right, back in with Cabana, just a little bit darker here, a little bit more pigment, and then I think what I'm gonna do is use Inheritance to kind of mediate those shades. Again, we have some fallout, but I'm not tapping the brush because it's been a while since I've used an Anastasia palette. I've been using other palettes and I'm forgetting like just how pigmented this is. So I'm bringing Inheritance up a little bit because I figure it's not gonna be so yellowy if I diffuse it out. And then what I'll do is I'm going to take Sails and put that right underneath my brow bone. So yeah, just like I suspected, this is a really good highlight. This is it's pretty extreme, but I think with these colors you need that. So I'm loving this so far. I'm taking some Tarte Shape Tape and just cleaning up that fallout that was totally my fault. I didn't tap the brush. Just be aware, you guys, that it's just like any other Anastasia palette, maybe a little bit like Subculture, where these pigments just They're just so pure. Like, you will have fallout if you don't handle them correctly. Okay, so I've kind of cleaned off my lid and left, like I said, like a little bit on my crease so that that can blend into purple. Oh, a bleep bloop. Okay, I haven't wet this brush or anything, and it's still going on this pigmented. There's somehow like not a huge difference other than like it being a little bit easier to control where the pigment goes, but there's not a huge difference in color payoff when you wet it. When I applied it dry, it went on just as opaquely and just as beautifully as when I'm putting it on wet, and that just doesn't happen. Like, what is their secret? I'm shaping out that corner. I'm gonna go over some of this with purple, but yeah, that's beautiful. And this has not been hard to work with. Like, I know there were a lot of complaints when Subculture launched that the pigment was too pure and it was hard to work with. Yeah, you saw the fallout with the pink, but this is what we've been asking for. This is what Anastasia always delivers. It's just so perfect and pretty. So I'm gonna tilt my head up so that I avoid getting this too much on my lid. And I'm gonna drag this all the way across. Yeah, I want this all the way across my lid. Now I'm gonna shape out that outer corner. I'm looking at this and I think I might just reapply some of that Seychelles to help this transition, or I might try to find another color. I am gonna drag this purple under my lower lash line, getting some pigment in my eye in the process. So I'm going to go back in with that pink. This time I'm going to tap the brush, and I'm going around the purple because I want that to show through. I'm really just like tapping the pan. Like, do not swirl the brush, you will regret it. And now I'm going to take a little bit of a finer brush. I'm actually going to use the brush from the palette and sweep that Bahamas pink underneath my lower lid. And then blending these a little bit. This brush is a little bit damp because I just had to wash it, and it's making blending a little easier because I found that these pigments went down and stayed down. So I think maybe dampening the brush will help with blending if you have an issue with that. So I'm going to, off camera, go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and kind of touch up these colors, and then I'll finish up the look and do my other eye. So now I'm going to take Inheritance and sweep it underneath my lower lid and brighten that up. Okay, so now I'm going to wet this little teeny tiny brush, and I'm going to dip back into Inheritance. I'm going to just pack that onto the inner third of my lower lash line and my inner corner. But I actually kind of like the blue in the inner corner, and I want more blue. Back onto my inner corner. Yeah, I like that better. I like that better than the Inheritance. I just love these names. And then I'm gonna sweep this blue underneath here too, and kind of blend that in. I might have to go back in with the pink because it looks like the purple has overwhelmed it. I'm gonna put a little bit of pink here. I don't know why, I just want to. Okay, yeah, that looks cool. And I think I might mirror it over here. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know, this is all an experiment. And then I'm gonna take pink. See, this brush is wet, so I'm kind of blending the purple into the pink. I like it, but I'm gonna go back in and put pink around it with a brush that's dry. I do like the mix of pink and purple over on this side, but not so much over here. I think I might put blue over that. So I wet this with my Makeup Forever Mist and Fix, so I don't have to go through that whole concealer ordeal again. Okay, that works. Like, I don't mind if the purple shows through a little bit, but I wanted more blue than I was seeing. I'm gonna see if I can successfully apply some blue right on this outer third of my lower lash line. Ooh. Maybe I'll test my luck and just bring this across. You know what? No, I'm not gonna do that. But I am going to do this. And cut my crease with blue. I'm doing a lot here, but I think on the other eye I'll streamline the process. Okay, I might as well just go over this because I'm using a clean brush just to kind of like buff that out. Okay, and then I think for the final touch, need a little bit of pink. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the second eye and see if I can't streamline this process a little bit, and then maybe while I'm doing that, I'll be able to clean this up a little bit so that everything looks better. So I lightly dipped into the pan and then remembered to tap the brush this time so no fallout. Also, I'm using a different and better brush, so don't let that first pink application be a representation of how this palette handles. Alright, just going in with a little bit of Shape Tape, looking up to see where my crease is. Going all the way into my inner corner because I want that to be blue, not pink or purple. This brush is dampened.
You might be the one that truly got me. I feel it too. You might be the one that truly got me. I feel it too. I feel it too. You might be the one that truly got me.
Going in with Sails under the eyebrow. I don't really think it matters what step you do this, just blend it out. I brought Inheritance all the way up last time, so I'm going to do that again. And then I need to go in with this Bahamas pink again. This is so much easier. This is just like the last video that I posted. Like, I did it on the first eye, first impressions, had so much trouble, but I was able to recreate the look on the other eye, just so much easier. And then lastly, I need Inheritance under my eye. Just sweeping this purple across a little bit more to help with blending. Okay, that's looking pretty darn symmetrical despite being very different processes. Okay, so I'm gonna put on some eyeliner and some lashes and finish up this look. So I'm definitely using purple eyeliner under here. I think I'm gonna skip the eyeliner on my upper lids because I don't want to cover up any of the pigment. These These lashes are insane. I don't think I've ever worn lashes this loud. So I'm just gonna try to measure them. I do such a bad job at cutting my lashes to the right size. Like, first of all, that's not gonna work. You know what? These ones I know fit me, so I'm just gonna use these as my reference. They're very obviously fake, but at the same time, they're pretty with this look. I had to like glue them to my lashes because of the shape of them. It's so weird. Okay, well, we'll see. Pretty symmetrical for once. I have trouble with that when I have to cut them. You guys are gonna have to tell me in the comments if these look crazy, because I kind of like them, but I do feel like I look like I'm ready to go to the club and I'm about to go dialyze some protein. So we're really gonna be at odds here with my lab coat. So I did curl my lashes off camera, just to mention. I love these. I think they're so fun. I really do think my lab goggles are going to get in the way. Like, I think they're gonna touch because the lashes go out that far, but these are so cool. Just to finish up this look, I'm going to put on a little bit of blush, a little bit of Afterglow in Fetish by Urban Decay. I already have Think Bronze by Clinique on my lips, just kind of as a moisturizer, but we'll see how this goes on. So first impressions, this palette is everything that I expected from Anastasia. The pigments are incredibly pure. There will be fallout if you aren't careful, so just tap in the pan, tap your brush, you won't have any problems. Something that came to mind while I was using this is it's a lot like Subculture, so if you liked Subculture for like the very bright, very pure pigments, then you'll like this palette too. If you had trouble with Subculture because it was outside of your comfort zone or it didn't really suit your style of makeup, then this might not be the palette for you. But for me, this palette really performs well, so I'm really happy. No complaints. I can't wait to use it again so that I can do something totally different. I only really used 4 of the shades, so I'm excited to try everything out and put a bunch of combinations together and just have fun with this palette. I know I'll be reaching for it again. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.